Welcome back to day 2 of the 2018 Golf Industry Show. I'm here on GCSAA TV Live, brought to you for the 5th straight year with our partners at Lebanon Turf. And it looked like a pretty busy day yesterday. We've got a pretty busy day today. We've got a few animals, which is always a favorite thing. We had them herding up the geese yesterday. Just a very exciting day here, all day long, culminating with the giving of the dog, the awarding of geese. We're doing another dog geese award today. Obviously, we'll be talking grass. I really enjoyed the end of the day. Finally got to talk a little bit about growing grass with Bob Vaughey. And I'm joined now by Chuck Gray. Chris. Of Lebanon, Chris Gray, sorry, Chuck Close. Gray, Chris Gray, Chuck Todd. Good to see you, Chris.
Good to see you too, Frank. How you been?
Yeah, well, I've been busy and, you know, yakking the whole day yesterday. And we started out the day yesterday. We're starting out the day today. How did it go yesterday? What was it like for you guys over at the booth? It was with my boys, Tom Fermanian and Clark Dross.
Yeah, they're definitely there. It was a great day. It really was. You never really know what you're going to get the first day of the show. You make a lot of plans. You have a lot of great ideas, and you hope that things go the way that you want them to go. And yesterday, though, we're very fortunate. We're enjoying the new layout of the show, the way they've got the situated, where the stage is at, where the registration, how it leads directly into the trade show floor. The traffic for us has been very much increased in years past.
It's interesting because I don't think a lot of people come to shows thinking about how they're laid out.
Yeah, no.
I have to say, this sort of stadium approach has an appeal to it for sure. They were giving slide presentations here yesterday. It's really all well done. So that seems to be translating there for the vendors for you. What about the city? It was a bit bitey this morning, bro.
It's been cold pretty much the entire time we've been here. It would be nice to have a little warmer.
Warmer than last time. Were you here last time? It was icy.
Yeah, no, they believe they canceled the golf tournament last year because of how cold it was.
Tragedy.
But it's warmer than what that was. So, but the city itself, I can't really just say enough about how wonderful San Antonio is to host these types of events. The venues that they have, the top caliber restaurants, I mean, the Riverwalk. It's something that when we take our guests out, we take our superintendents, our distributors out. There's a lot of options and choices for us to be able to do that.
And the Riverwalk
that's
got
to play into it.
Yeah, and so the Riverwalk is very charming. But even exploring the city, and I have to say, my wife was here with me for a few days, never been to one of these things before, and just was wandering around, and, you know, people in and around San Antonio are enormously pleasant. They're very focused on customer service. They know we're here to sort of, you know, have a good time and you know, and in our case, build the industry, which will transition to what you were talking about, your booths, and we want to cover the True Performance Turfgrass Program and the free trial bag. So let's start with the free trial bag. And before I said, why don't you remind me the MMD formulation?
Sure. About 5 years ago, we developed Country Club MD, and the MD stands for maximum dispersion. What we had done with that granular over the traditional just regular Country Club homogeneous product was that we incorporated both humic acid as well as sea plant into the granule itself, so they didn't have to be made as two separate applications. We found that by adding the stress buffering biostimulants to the granule, it actually made it disperse better. So for us, it was a win-win situation that we could provide some value add with agronomics that the turf actually needs, and it helped with the granule itself to disperse so that once you apply it, you put it down.
Well, and you know, the reality is granular fertilizers just struggled, right? The mowing heights we use on the surfaces, and you know, it's feeling like sometimes spraying is always the option, but I have to say, formulation chemistry many times is the key to getting more products used. If you make it easy to use, make it easy to handle. Is this completely dispersible that you could spray it as well?
Yeah, it's not water soluble.
It's not water soluble.
No, because it is based with methylene urea for the most part, and so. But you're absolutely right about the mowing height, and that's why we've got two different grades of Country Club MD. We've got a greens grade, but it's SGN 80, where traditionally you're up in the hundreds, and we also have an 125 SGN because as they keep. Almost everyone's been trying to cut their fairways and tees lower and lower. And so obviously there's a relationship between the size of the granule and what can drop into the canopy of the turf. And the shorter you cut that, the smaller the particle has to be. And we found that's really resonated pretty well with the superintendents for those courses that really have those lower cuts of height.
Yeah, and I guess what I've always liked, the years that you brought in the Emerald Isle program, right, into Lebanon Turf, many years ago now, right?
Yeah.
And continuing to put, you know, things that have proven research, like cytokinins from the kelp products, right?
Yep.
And the way it's done from Ocean Organics. Is that still how it works?
Yeah,
got the right question?
We still, when we're talking about emerald isle products, it's very heavily based on sea plant, on sea kelp.
And that's what
the
you
extract.
formulated into this granule.
Yeah, we use a very similar formulation to that. We had to tweak it a little bit to make sure, because obviously once you're taking a liquid product and trying to solidify it into your granular, there's some technology
Well, the fact
involved
that you're
in that.
getting really good dispersal is key. You're giving it away. Everybody sort of likes that sort of thing. How's that working out?
Yeah, you know, it's been really well. Because again, one thing that we wanted to make sure we did is that obviously we're in Pennsylvania, and so we've got very strong connections in the Northeast, in the Central. But when I was a superintendent for 15 years, I really wasn't comfortable in really buying new products for my golf courses unless I could try them on my course first. Right. So what we've done is try to find a way to do that is to develop this program that we've got now, which is we produced 1,000 15-pound sample bags of our most popular Country Club MD product, which is 18018.
A limited number, 1,000 bags?
Just 1,000 bags.
So the first 1,000 people who are listening to this live or here should be sending in their address, email, texting you?
They can do it another. If you're here at the show, if you're fortunate enough to be here, you can stop by the booth. There's a card that you can sign up to get that. And we're covering all the expenses. We've got them produced. We're going to put them in a box. We're going to ship them out to them. And basically, with 15 pounds, that's enough to put for about 5,000 square feet. You can try it on your nursery green. You can try it on where you can check and see how the actual product works on their golf course.
Yeah, and it's very important for all the innovation they see at the show. It's very important that you remain open-minded and say, let me give it a try. These people went to the trouble of sort of redoing this thing. Let me see the kind of response I get. If you're giving you a bag of fertilizer, this 5,000, they're probably going to give this sod away when they're done with it. You could do it on something like this. So beyond that, there's the True Performance Turfgrass Program, which, as we talked about yesterday, is the blend of the liquid products and the granule products. Yeah. Probably something they might want to play around with as well. Tell us about the program.
Well, what's been great about it is that we talked about it yesterday, and about a month ago we actually started doing what we call a soft launch. Here's where we're really doing the hard launch and really getting more into the marketing aspects of it. And it's a program that includes not only the Country Club MD granulars, but we're also including with it the Emerald Isle foliars as a complementary program approach. But the difference is that we're actually basing this upon research that we've done, season-long research that we've done for 2 years at the University of Arkansas and Purdue University on cool season bentgrass. This isn't a marketing hype. This isn't something that they put these together, we know it's going to work. We set up different protocols, different programs that involve different products of the Emerald Isle and the Country Club, and we basically gave them to Purdue and Arkansas and says, put them out for the year. Tell me what did better. We had them induce stress. We had them put
greens,
traffic.
fairways?
Just greens.
Just greens.
Just greens. We want to start with the most important part because
so there's
that's
all
really
kinds
what
of
it is.
data available. I'm sure you're sharing at the booth about quality green speed. Right, good. Because, you have good researchers at those land grant institutions that we're pleased to get that support.
Absolutely.
Rah-rah from my fellow land grant scientists. That funding is really important. That research is really important. I think we're very glad it helps you sort of bring it to them. How do you recommend, okay, you're going to give me a bag of this stuff.
Sure.
Can I play around with the foliars? Maybe I can do the same thing at once. I'll buy the foliars.
If you got the foliars, you can certainly try it with that. But we feel that it was very important because once we got all the research back from both the universities, there was really one program that did well over both years as well as both facilities. So at that point, it gave us the opportunity to say, this is research and data that's given to us by the universities that doesn't have any input from us. All we did was look at the raw data going, this is the one that performed the best. It was program number 2. And you are absolutely right. We do have these research studies, the raw studies that we've got for these available if you want to come by the booth and see them. Because we're wide open. We don't want there to be any problem because, again, this is not us saying this program works. This is the university
Well, here's the deal. It looks like the next generation of people coming through this industry seem to be what we expect them to be, interested in transparency and data. And so it sounds like you're doing both of those. But Are we done with the fertilizers? I want to talk about the animals.
Everybody loves the animals.
We had a stage full of animals yesterday.
Yeah.
We had the Birds of Prey here as well with Audubon International.
Absolutely.
But you're sponsoring all these dog things, the Canine for Warriors.
Yep.
We gave away the geese thing. Tell us more about that. That was a very popular thing. They're right here next to us as well.
Yeah, Rebecca over there at Flyaway Geese, and in partnership with GCSAA and Lebanon Turf, for each day of the show, again, we have sponsored to give away one fully trained border collie to a facility that needs it to be able to help control whatever pests they have, whether it be geese, whether it be
Those
coots.
dogs, we learned yesterday, can respond to 40 different commands.
Yep.
My kids don't respond to 40 different commands.
Apparently, they're not as well trained as the dogs are there, Frank.
Right. It's so great. So that's a very exciting thing. We're doing that again later today.
We did have a winner yesterday.
Yes.
Actually, John Ballard, certified golf course
Yeah, I
superintendent.
saw the picture of him on Twitter.
From
Getting the
University of
talking to those
Louisville
folks.
Golf Club. He was
great.
actually yesterday's winner of a fully trained. So
Well, we had this problem yesterday. It's Louisville.
you know,
I don't
as
know
someone
where
who lived in
Louisville-
Kentucky for 6 years, I should have known that one. You're absolutely correct.
So you
Absolutely.
lived in Kentucky.
I have.
Okay, so what about the other animals, the dog of the year? Let's talk about the dog of the year.
Again, this continues to evolve every year. Everybody loves the dog of the year, and that's really what it's amazing. They get the calendar, they take a look at all the candidates, and they wind up showing up at the show.
So the voting's going good. It's happening
Voting
now?
is going exceptionally
There's
well.
pictures, or you flew the finalists into town for the dog
no,
show?
no,
Wouldn't
no,
that
no,
be
no.
great if you
Oh.
sponsored a superintendent dog show?
the-
We could do it right out here.
I
Get them
hope
running
you can
around
find
with
another
the little
sponsor to help
leash on
out,
it.
because that's going to. But no, I think that's a great opportunity. Right now, we do have photographs of all the dogs.
Great.
We have a video that runs in the booth as well to show them. And in years past, we've had people actually camp out in our booth with the dog.
Yeah.
We've had people that do buttons. Last year's winner actually gave out buttons during the golf tournament.
Oh, he was lobbying.
He
for
was
the dog.
lobbying it for. This has turned into. But again,
Oh,
keep in mind what the
well, I
winner
don't know,
gets.
We might have to have new voter laws then.
Well, when we're dealing with, I mean, again, this started out as a cute little thing to do.
It really
Now,
is.
all of a sudden, the dog gets a plaque, $500.
that's right.
The local GCSA chapter gets a $3,000 donation. This has really elevated
speaks
itself.
to the attachment that people on golf courses, guys on golf courses, women on golf, everybody on golf courses, the crew have attached to these animals.
Oh,
Not
absolutely.
Just for, they're happy to, they're part of the team. When
Yes.
I was at Hazeltine for the Ryder Cup a few years ago, they were taking pictures of these statue dogs, and the superintendents loved it because there's such this attachment. Now listen, we got to get going soon. You're heading back to Pennsylvania, right?
Yep.
The good old home of Lebanon, what town? Lebanon,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Lebanon,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yep.
Good old family company, owned for many, many years
Absolutely.
by a long-term family relationship
Yes.
there, which, we're glad to have you as the sponsor of this event, but now we're leaving today. What's the follow-up for this for you guys?
Well, you're absolutely right. We are a family company, and we've been in this industry for 70-plus years. And like I said, I'm fortunate enough to handle the Country Club brand, which actually we went back and looked at the patent, and then Country Club has actually been around since 1922.
I was going to say, I remember using it in the 70s.
It was actually the first fertilizer I actually applied when at a golf course. So it's interesting as we can grow in our career how those things do that. But assuming the weather holds out and we can get out
home
and try to get
tomorrow,
back,
right?
yeah, it's definitely going to be
Interesting ride.
It will be very interesting. But once we get back, we'll sit down. We'll have meetings with all the team members that we've had. We've got our sales guy that's been in the booth, talking to superintendents, talking to our distributors, and we kind of go back and look at what our goals were. We say, here's what we were looking to do. Did we accomplish those? Because many times when we get back there, we might have been trying to do A, B, and C, and we wind up getting better information for D, E, and F. But there's a lot of follow-up that we do.
Yeah,
Again, I've got a stack of cards for free trial bags this large.
That's right. I mean, as much as there's technology and innovation, and we have to show, ultimately, especially with a company like Lebanon that's been around a long time, as we wrap up, relationships are critical things, right? And we've been really fortunate here at GCSA TV Live at the show, so people who aren't here can enjoy it.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Frank, thank you.
My pleasure, and I hope you come back and watch the dog giveaway. Thank you again to Lebanon Turf for sponsoring GCSA TV Live at the show in San Antonio. We'll be back after this. Video from Mark Coons at Baltusrol Country Club.